I don't know about you, but we love garlic, and you can grow it at home really easily. Today we're going to talk about all the things that you need to know to grow successfully at home. Hey everybody, welcome back to Lonely Pines Farm. I'm Jerry. It's been a while, but guess what? It is garlic growing season, and you should be growing garlic. It's super easy to do, and we're going to talk about everything you need to know to do that right here, right now, okay? Let's get started. So the first thing you need to know about growing great garlic is when to plant it. So garlic takes a very long time to do its thing, 9 months actually, and you should plant it in the fall. This is not fall, this is winter. This is actually the 1st of January, and it snowed here. It was super cold for a couple of weeks. But if you can dig a hole, you can plant garlic, and we're going to put that to the test here by planting this late. Our other varieties we already got in the ground. But depending upon where you are, if you're in a really cold place, you want to get your garlic in the ground around October. And then we're in zone 8A, coast of Washington. We plant usually in November. And then if you're in someplace really warm, like maybe Cali or Texas, something like that, you can plant into December. And that's what we're doing here today. So before you can plant it, obviously, you have to find good seed garlic. That's not always easy to do. Generally speaking, if you go to your local big box grocery store, they have a softneck garlic on it that's usually been grown out of country, and because of that, it's been sprayed not to grow, and it's had all its roots cut off so that it will not grow on our shelves. That type of garlic, if you plant that, you probably aren't going to get the best crop, okay? It's not made for your zone, and it's not designed to grow, it's designed to be eaten, okay? So what you should do is you should get some organic or natural garlic. You can buy it online, you can go to your local farmer's market, and you can get fresh grown from somebody right in your neighborhood. And you can also grow your own, because once you start growing garlic, you harvest from it, put it back in the ground, and you can grow your own the next year. You'll be able to multiply your own seed. How cool is that? Now remember, when you go to order your seed garlic, that there's two different main types of garlic, okay? There's softneck and there's hardneck. Now softneck garlics, generally speaking, grow better in the southern half of the United States. The hardnecks grow better in the northern half, and that's because they need a lot of cold weather to fracture and reproduce and do their thing. So check where you're at and find the proper type of garlic for your zones, okay? Hardneck or softneck. Each one of those, believe it or not, is broken into different varieties. There's 2 types of softneck and 11 types, 9 types, I forget. No, I can't say that. How many is there?
I think there's 11 total.
11 total.
9 and 2.
9. Now another thing to keep in mind is if you want to braid your garlic and hang it up in your kitchen so it looks great, you should be purchasing a softneck garlic. That's the braidable type. A hardneck garlic is going to send up a center flower stalk, and it's going to get really stiff. It's going to give you escape though, and that is a delicious midsummer treat before your garlic's ready. So garlic, like we talked about before, is planted in the fall. You're not going to get a whole ton of sunlight, but do plant it someplace that it's going to get a lot of sunlight come spring and summer, okay? You want it to be in full sun whenever possible. That's at least 8 hours, 10 to 12 is better, okay? I'm going to go over how I set up one of our raised rows for planting just about everything we do on the farm, but especially for garlic. So if you take a look at this row here, this had tomatoes in it last year, and we definitely don't want to plant tomatoes in here again. So all I'm going to do is come in and I'm going to pull aside all of our mulch from last year so that I can actually get down to the soil. And then all I do is come through and pull out the worst offenders for weeds. A couple little things here and there. Oh, there's an old tomato. So let's talk about nutrition real quick, okay? So garlic, even though it grows below the ground, you actually need to feed the leaves to get a good sized garlic bulb. So you do need phosphorus and potassium in your soil, but it really is a heavy feeder of nitrogen, okay? So we like to use blood meal when we plant. We have also amended our row with our own compost, and we use chicken and horse manure aged on both of those in that as well, okay? But the blood meal is a slow release nitrogen food, and we'll put that on at planting, and then we'll side dress with it again in the spring. You'll have to come back for that one. You ever seen one of these before? This is what's called a broad fork. Check it out. These big long steel tines, we drive them into the ground and then just pop the surface a little bit. You don't have to rototill. Just do that and that, and you just crack the surface of the earth. You open up all sorts of channels for nutrition and water and air to get into your plants. They're gonna love it. Look at how easy it is. Say what?
Want to talk about your handy dandy tool?
Yes,
and
my custom planting spacer.
Yeah.
So I believe that garlic should have as much room above ground as it does below ground. And as you know, if you've ever seen a garlic plant before, it gets pretty large up top. So I like to plant our garlic 8 inches on center. That gives it lots of room to grow. It doesn't compete with all the other garlic. So this is approximately 8 inches. And I'll just set this inside our bed. And then I've got a really cool tool to show you next. Check this out. This, may I introduce you to the Backsaver 9000. This thing is gold. It doesn't come with a drill, okay? But this bit, fantastic. Check this out. You know what? I'm gonna do it on slow speed. How easy is that, right? That thing is gold money. Holy smokes, work up a sweat doing that. It is way easier, but still. So let's talk about garlic bulbs, okay? We've already gone through our bulbs and we have separated them down to clove. So when you are separating them, make sure that you leave the paper on, okay? Don't worry so much about the roots on the bottom. Believe it or not, your new garlic roots are gonna grow from around the base of this, okay? But leave the paper on because every layer of paper here protects it while it's in the ground. It takes a few months for it to really get growing and it could rot if it's too wet. This will protect it, okay? Now sometimes you're going to have ones that are going to happen like this. You're going to lose a little bit of the paper. Okay, I'm here to tell you we've planted plenty of these and they've grown just fine. But you will do better with this type of clove, okay? But don't take all the paper off. Also, don't pick a little tiny clove. Pick something with good size. It has been proven for sure that size matters, okay, right? We all know that. Wait. It has been proven scientifically the larger your seed garlic is, the larger your bulb will be. Okay, so if you have a choice, don't plant some little tiny thing, okay? Plant big bulbs of garlic. This is the tip, okay? This is the base. This is where it came off of the plant, right? Remember when we had the whole thing together, it was like this, okay? This is the tip. You want this side to be up. This is very important for hardneck, not so important for softneck. Roots down, okay? A lot of cloves, very pointy at the top. It's pretty obvious. But if you look at this one, it's not as obvious, right? Look close. There's the root. There's the tip. So we plant the garlic this way. I usually like to plant our garlic about 2 inches below the surface of the ground, okay? So just like this, and we go into one of these holes.
Show me that shirt. What you got, garlic man?
What? That cool?
Love it.
Somebody got me that for Christmas.
Yeah.
All right, so then all we got to do is come back and backfill over these. And all I do is take a rake, just kind of come back at an angle a little bit. I'm not really digging very deep. All right, so let's talk about mulch real quick, okay? If you live in a hot climate, you probably don't need to use mulch. But if you live in a cold climate where you're gonna expect freezing temperatures and snow, wait until you get a good cold snap, plant your garlic, and then mulch it in with something like straw. We love straw. Even if it goes to seed, it's growing straw, right? Can't go wrong with that. It's a fantastic cover crop, and we're just gonna pour it all over the top of this to protect our garlic. Now we're up here in the upper left, 8A, and we don't need to water in the fall and the winter. So we plant our garlic, we don't water it in. But if you live in a warmer climate where you've got dry soil, water your garlic in really well and try to keep it damp in the root zone area, which is going to be about 4 inches down, okay? This is why you need to mulch if you're in a cold area. Come here, let me show you something. All right, so this is our Thai purple garlic patch, okay? And after I had planted it, I realized or discovered, doing some research, that the Thai garlics, they sprout very, very quickly. So this one caught us off guard with all of this green growth above ground. We never got a chance to mulch it. And then we got hit with a crazy snowstorm and freeze down to 15 degrees for about a week. In fact, we even lost our water pipes. So I do expect this to bounce back, but we'll keep you updated through the summer on this patch in particular to see how the cold and the freezing temperatures affected it. Basically what happens here is the greenery acts as a wick, and it's sucking moisture out of the bulb whenever it's in sub-freezing temperatures. Garlic can survive down to -30, but it's not any good for the bulb. So check back, we'll see how this one goes. On the flip side of not mulching, this is our Polish white garlic, and as you can tell, it has been mulched heavily with straw. Now we're just starting to see the tiniest little pieces of garlic stick up through here, but this is already a couple of inches deep, so we know they're surviving very well underneath there, and they're going to continue to do really well over the winter. So if you get a warm spell during your winter, your garlic's going to start growing, okay? So if it starts showing up over the top of your straw and you're expecting another freeze or another snow, you should add more mulch, okay? The mulch will slowly compact, it'll slowly break down, the worms love it. It's going to be miraculous for your garlic. All right, so now all you have left to do is throughout the winter, just periodically come on out here and check your garlic patch. Garlic does not like to compete well with weeds, so if you see weeds germinating, make sure you get rid of them. And if you live in a cold environment, make sure you keep those tips mulched until springtime. I've got a lot of mulching left to do. You can find us on all of the social media channels, and we hope you enjoyed the show. Happy growing, everyone.